If you've been following the economy lately, it feels like you're constantly being pulled in two directions, right? On one side, you have people screaming that we're on the verge of a Great Depression 2.0, a massive crash that's just waiting to happen. And on the other, you've got this idea of a big print, a huge boom where money just floods the system and sends everything to the moon. But what if? What if both those are wrong? What if the economy's actually on a completely different track? Let's try and figure out where this train is really headed.
So that's really the big question on everyone's mind, isn't it? Crash or boom? But while the headlines are all about these two extremes, some of the sharpest analysts are digging into the data and they're seeing a completely different story playing out. And this is where macro analyst Lynn Alden's work comes in. She basically argues that we should just ignore both of those extremes. Her view is that the real story isn't some sudden, explosive event. It's more of a slow, grinding, sluggish journey. A journey that isn't really being controlled by the free market, but by this incredibly powerful, almost hidden engine.
And that engine, it has a name: fiscal dominance. The core idea here is actually pretty simple. It's that government spending, the deficit, has gotten so massive that it's now the main force steering the entire economy.
Okay, so what is fiscal dominance really? Well, it's a situation where the government's deficits are so huge, so structural, that what Congress does with spending completely overpowers anything the Fed tries to do with interest rates. Think of it like this. The Fed is trying to steer a little speedboat, nudging the tiller left and right. But right next to it, the government is steering a giant aircraft carrier. Who do you think wins that battle? Yeah, the aircraft carrier, every single time.
And the sheer scale of this thing is, well, it's stunning. The U.S. is running a structural deficit of 6 to 7% of GDP. And get this, that's not during a crisis or a recession. That's just the new normal. This isn't some temporary stimulus check, it's a permanent feature of the system, constantly propping everything up.